aku aja pribadi kayak excited banget pengen tahu ini gimana caranya ya, gimana ceritanya gitu kan.
Kebayang kan detikers ya, jadi menu-menu yang ada di hotel-hotel atau resort mewah itu bisa kamu bawa ke rumah kamu. Tapi kita akan cari tahu nih, menu-menu seperti apa sih gitu ya yang tadi disebutkan sama Indi dan juga Aryo. Apakah menu-menu yang sebetulnya akrab dengan kita, atau mungkin kita juga akan memperluas hasanah kuliner kita dengan menu-menu dari makanan-makanan yang tersedia di seluruh dunia.
There you go, hari ini kita sengaja menghadirkan. Kalau urusan makanan, siapa lagi kalau bukan Mami Odi of course ya. Dari Detik Food yang akan menemani kita di sini untuk ngobrol-ngobrol. Tapi Mami Odi gak sendirian, betul Mami Odi?
Betul, spesial sekali hari ini bawa teman dan tamu spesial dari Singapura.
Buset, langsung diberangkati dari Singapura untuk hadir di sini ya.
Dihadirkan ya.
Ada Miss Doris Go, Executive Vice President, Commercial Como Hotels and Resort. Hi.
Hello, hello Indonesia, hello Jakarta. So happy to be here. Love to see all these wonderful changes in your wonderful city, except for the traffic jam. It didn't change.
We didn't love that as well. Yeah. But how often do you come to Jakarta?
Well, it used to be very, very often, you know, because the food scene here is amazing. It explodes, you know, and every time I come, there's a new restaurant, you know. So we're constantly doing that, and I think you have got a great audience for food, you know. People are so warm, and, you know, it actually comes from the stomach, right? Your quality of life, you know. So yes.
That is actually what I feel when I go to one of the Como hotels and restaurant. I feel the same way too.
Yeah. That's why I say to her that I love Como Uma Canggu so much, and I because I cannot stay there every time I went to Canggu. Other than that, I will broke my wallet, right? But instead, I go to the Como Beach Club quite often, yeah. And all the food are amazing, nice place, nice sunset, and everything. Now I talk to you, it's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Very near to you.
No, that's why I'm saying that now you got to do some healing, right? You got to go to Como Shambhala Estate.
Yeah. It's another good to that Ubud one, right?
Yes, and we are actually relaunching. But do you know that actually Como, Uma Ubud, took Indonesia to the world because, you know, last year we were voted the #1 hotel in Indonesia by Condé Nast USA.
Wow!
Yes. So, and all because, and you know what, for the longest time people are saying that this hotel has been around for a long time. But because it celebrates the authenticity of Bali. So when you go into it, even my lovely friend and colleague Bapak Taufik was also saying that I live in Bali for so long, I never really stayed. And you know why it was so lovely? Because it is built like a Balinese village. So when you go in, there's little twists and turns, and it's very charming.
Yeah. I've just seen that as well. Detikers, karena gue biasanya ke yang Canggu mulu, bahkan gue nggak pernah denger yang di Ubudnya gitu. Dan ternyata secantik itu sampai dapat rekognisi seluruh dunia.
Jujur tuh kayaknya enak buat healing gak sih?
Betul, ya.
Menyenangkan banget.
It's so relaxing and charge our body as well, right?
Yes,
gitu.
Yeah, especially when we live in a big city like Indonesia, Jakarta, you know, like having all those kind of green and I can feel the smell, you know. Iya, kayaknya pengen banget buat main ke situ.
Actually, we have to thank, you know, the period of the pandemic because all the Indonesians came home and they came to Bali and they came to the Como Shambhala Estate. It was so wonderful. I mean, I was there and I saw families of Indonesians. It was so lovely. I went around talking to them. They've been around the world, but they're like, first time I'm coming here.
By the way, you also said that it's not only about the resort and also the food, but you talk about how now people into like, you know, wellness.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe I can sense that maybe we can feel like something like yoga there, or maybe with singing bowl, right?
You know, actually,
chakra opening.
You know, every time people think about, to be very honest, at first Como Shambhala Estate was meant to be a wellness resort. But then we feel that people are not very comfortable. So we thought that it would be better that we slowly introduce them into wellness and into eating well. It's the whole philosophy, because wellness is not just about yoga or go and do a HIIT or whatever. It is altogether holistic, and you must cultivate that lifestyle so that you look good, feel good, and then, you know, into life, you know. And that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can reset our life there. So whenever we come back to our place, we're just gonna start everything new.
Yes, actually that's true.
Recharge.
Recharge,
and another
yes.
thing is that, you know, so people think that, I go to a wellness retreat, I got to do all these things. No. When you come to Como Shambhala Estate, what we do is that the program is already there. Every morning you've got sunrise yoga, you've got the walks through the garden, the estate, because it actually is on a huge estate with waterfalls and with a sacred spring that the locals come to take water for their purification ceremony.
Oh, yeah,
so
we call
there's
it
a lot of
melukat in Bali,
Yes.
So it's like a grounding moment, an earthing moment, right?
It's magical.
Yeah,
so
very
when
magical.
people go there, so even if you don't do all the health stuff, you know, you just by going there to eat the food, you know, you feel cleansed. In fact, I have so many people, myself and my husband included, you know, we went there and we come up and we said, you feel lighter, your body is lighter because you flush out everything through the food you eat.
Oh, okay, you are what you eat is true.
Exactly, food, yeah? I think
The
you're very
most
grateful. Go
important.
back to the food.
Now we're talking about the food,
Mami Odi banget, ujung-ujungnya ke makanan lagi ya.
But anyway, Mrs. Doris, since I only know Como Uma Canggu at first, and then now I know Como Uma Ubud. But I also heard that it's not only in Indonesia, but it's like a big chain all over the world, and it has like 18 chain. Yeah, maybe can you tell us about that, and what's the biggest silver lining between one Como in one place to from another
Thank you.
place?
It's a great question. Well, actually, we are not a chain. We are a collection of properties that are in some amazing destination. So our founder, Mrs. Christina Ong, always feel that, you know, if there is a place, she said, that I can live in and I can find a home there, then I think my friends, my family, and my guests would like it. So that's why Como owns at least 95% of all our properties. You know, so we first started in London with the Hokkien, you know, which today is like, you know, in fact, the story, Crazy Rich Asians, is built around the Hokkien, parts of it. I mean, just story, yeah?
Just story.
Just the story. Yeah? So that's the Hokkien. And then a year later, she opened the Metropolitan London. And when Metropolitan London opened, it actually created such a following. The Met Bar was like, you know, all this, it attracts all the who's who, you know, the young, the fashionistas and what have you. That's so much so that when you want to go into the Met Bar, they have to book a room. It was hilarious, yeah.
Wow.
So that's why Como was born in London, and finally, then we make our way home. You know, then we are also in Bhutan, and we are one of the first luxury properties to go into Bhutan. Because of the kingdom. So the family is very, very close to the king, you know, always helping out. In fact, they've also contributed a lot from Como Foundation into the country to help the children, you know. So that's Como Uma Bhutan, is Paro and Punakha. We've got two properties there. Yeah, that's right.
Because I believe it's not easy to make a properties in Bhutan. They really, you know,
it's all it's not ours. It's really you're guarding it for the kingdom. So our food actually comes from Bhutan all the way to Tuscany.
Wow.
So we're in Tuscany now.
All over the world.
Yes.
Wow.
So we're also in Phuket, Bali. Okay, then we come home Bali. So we have
Its weather
Phuket,
has a very nice
Singapore.
characteristic.
Yeah, and then Perth. We've got a wonderful property in Perth, and then also over to the Maldives. Two amazing properties. One of which is really in an atoll that is full of nature, and is the only island resort in the atoll. The Thai.
Very exclusive.
Very exclusive, and really you don't see another building, and you see a lot of beautiful marine life. Okay, yeah.
Take
So
me
things
there.
like that.
I can imagine for that one.
In fact, actually, that's why I say Como is really about the lifestyle, and we also bring in. In fact, we have this 3 times world champion sky surfer. So he comes in there and conduct classes, you know, for our people. So can you imagine? So we do a lot of very interesting activities. We also conduct the very first space camp, you know, in the Maldives, where we invited our astronaut for NASA.
Oh, really?
You know, to do it with the children.
How
And all
cool.
that. And she was so wonderful. She do it pro bono because she loves us, and we've been doing it for 3 years. And she brought us space food.
Wow.
So talk about this.
What does it look like? Is it only a pill or something?
It's sad. But that is actually to tell the children how lucky you are to be on earth. Eat the food, be sustainable, grow, let food grow naturally. It was a wonderful lesson. I learned a lot from it.
So we can say that it's a 360 activities whenever you stay in Como.
Because it's really about, so Como, we want to build a home from home for you. And then when you come to Como, you get to experience, iconic experiences that you don't get from any other resort. And to do that, we actually leverage on the group's connections and network. Like for instance, if you talk about food, right? I mean, I was just saying, one of the lovely chefs that Mrs. Ong count as her friends is none other than Claire Smith. Claire Smith from the UK, and she was the one who did Prince Harry and Meghan's wedding, and she actually has the OBE, which is the Order of the British Empire.
Okay, we understand the standard.
Yeah, that's right. But
can imagine.
These are the people. But because for her, it's like she said, when you come to a destination, it's always your gut is very important. So you travel through your stomach, right? And so therefore she said she wants to ensure that all our restaurants have got very good food that is authentic to the destination and yet bring something extra, and that is nutritious and also to continue to promote that philosophy of living well. Living well, eating well and dressing well.
3 itu detikers ya. Jadi dimulai dari makan, start from what you eat first ya.
Yes, what you eat. Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting to talk about this book, since we're already talking about food as well. So here I have this amazing and magnificent book. It's Como Simple by Christina Ong, the founder of the Como Uma and Hotel and Resort. Maybe Miss Doris, can you tell us about this book? Because I've been opening up.
Explanation, This is the second book actually.
Oh, this is the second book.
Okay.
Ini buku kedua aja, Mam.
The first book was in 2016.
2016.
And it is called The Pleasures of Eating Well. Because all in line with Como Shambhala. Because Como Shambhala is our wellness pillar. And Como Shambhala, we really try to concoct food that are very nutritious and taste very good. And a lot of it are actually Mrs. Ong's concoction with her chefs. So the first cookbook was a collaboration of all the chefs that she worked with, and it was really a chef's cookbook.
Okay.
So it has a lot of stories as well, but it was a little bit difficult. It was 140 recipes, so everybody goes to it and say that we cannot recreate it. So 9 years later, this is the accumulation of 30 years of Como Shambhala and Como food that this book is born. So she called it Como Simple.
It's being simplified.
Because it is actually, how shall I say, modified and reformatted for home kitchens. And I was telling you the story, like so last year we launched it because the book is new. So the first launch was in London, because like I said, Como was born in London. And I brought it to Munich because of friends, and also we have a very good agency there. And then in Asia, Jakarta is our very first launch.
Really?
Yes. I mean, besides Singapore.
Of course.
Because home is Singapore. So
Nanti malam
we chose
di-launching.
Nanti
Jakarta.
malam launchingnya?
Yes.
Oh, I feel proud of it.
And I tell you what, when we launch it, when I say launch, it's not just a launch like this, but of course today you beat it all because here I am talking to Jakartans about the launching of this book, So, but seriously, we fly in our chefs. So I flew in.
Such a honor,
Yes, I flew in our chef Giovanni, and Chef Giovanni is from Como Castello di Nero, and he's our Michelin star chef from our restaurant Le Torre. So we just created Taste of Como in Singapore. For Tuscany. So this is a series. So we have Taste of Como Bhutan, Taste of Como Bali, that was the second one, and now the third Taste of Como is Tuscany. So he was in Singapore for 4 nights to do this with his Tuscan food, bringing his kitchen to our guests, right? And I took him to fly over to Jakarta to do this launch. So this launch tonight, Ibu Odi is going to try. It's a little different because it's going to be Tuscan flavored, but everything from the appetizers to the main course all comes from the book.
So you're so lucky.
So you were asking me, right? So this book has 114 recipes that is all through put together lovingly, like I said, to follow the philosophy of eating well. And so it's also from all the chefs that Mrs. Ong has collaborated, as well as chefs in the all 28 restaurants around the world.
And to be clear that all of these 114 menus, we can try in every Como Uma all around the world.
Yeah, around the world. Every Como around the world. So yes, even have a Balinese recipe.
Yeah, I found gado-gado. I found karedo. Yeah, so interesting.
Yes. And it has got Bhutanese food. It has got, of course, the fun Australian fare, you know, from Perth. And then, by the way, our Perth restaurants are also amazing. It has won like all the equivalent of Michelin stars. They call it the chef's hat, I think, in Australia. So they have got all that as well. So every hotel has got its signature restaurant, you know, and like in Thailand, we've got Nam, which is also a Michelin star restaurant, right? You know, so, and in Singapore, we've got Côte and the Cedric Grolet and Como Cuisine. So they're all, you know, Michelin stars, and like Cedric Grolet and Côte are the first export into Asia. Never before. You know, from their home country.
Okay, I never imagined that Como, I mean that very beautiful resort is such really into a food. Maybe I can think at first that, okay, a good resort is only talking about its architecture and all the place that they provide. But I think Como is more and beyond than that.
Very serious.
When it comes to food as well.
I think it's the first time, for the resort publish a cookbook.
Yes.
To make all of this ya.
Yes.
Tapi ini menarik juga nih Detik, berarti kita bisa katakan bahwa sebenarnya kalau misalnya teman-teman belum sempat buat ngiterin Como karena ada 18 properties gitu ya di seluruh dunia, mungkin Detik bisa cobain untuk punya bukunya dan coba ngeliat resep-resepnya, karena di dalam sana itu tuh ada banyak banget resep-resep yang memang diambil dari masing-masing restorannya dari Como yang sangat terkenal dan bahkan juga Michelin stars gitu ya. Mungkin bisa dicoba sendiri juga, tapi yang menarik adalah karena di dalamnya, tadi sempat ngobrol-ngobrol juga di belakang bahwa di dalam itu nggak cuma resep-resep aja, tapi juga ada foto-foto yang menarik. So, inside of the book is actually not about the recipe, and also you have a really good pictures.
Yes.
Would you mind to tell us about it?
Photography and also, everything can you take a look?
Very nice picture.
Yes.
Well, this is really the essence of Mrs. Ong. I mean, she is she's really. I've worked with a lot of billionaires. I've never worked with someone who is so vested in her business and so humble and so graceful. And she loves to, because for her, it's everything. You want to do something, she said, do it well. And she said, she would never repeat herself, you know, so everything is the first and it has to be done very well. So her standards are very exacting. That's why this is a limited edition book. Actually, it costs us much more to produce it than to sell it.
You saw, right? Because the mission to deploy, the menu is bigger than only the benefit of selling this book, right?
Basically, it's not about the sale, but it's really she wanted to share, because many people ask her about it, and she thought that this also unites all the hotels that she has,
Who
through
is
the
the food
stomach.
stylist? The food stylist for this book.
Actually, Mrs. Ong works with a team, with our hotel teams as well, and our chef, of course, Chef Dan. You're going to see him. So he's really my vice president of culinary for the whole Como group. He's here.
He's here?
He is also the best chef. In fact, we're doing something very crazy, and it's called Como Journey into the Arctic this year.
Into the Arctic.
Yeah, so we actually chartered a ship. And this ship is actually a Norwegian weather ship for only 12 people. And my VP culinary is going on the ship to cook.
Oh my God,
It's an expedition.
Exclusive.
It's an expedition because we wanted, you see, that's why Como is really about creating that experience. It's not just about hotels or whatever. So it is everything, right? You go there, food brings memories. It makes memories, right? So we want that to be it. So that's why, and we wanted to bring people to areas that you wanted to go, but there's no one to plan it for you. Okay. So our expedition, the specialty is we Comofied it. We're also putting a very, very famous body worker on there so that you can have Como Shambhala treatments throughout the whole trip. And then we also have some award-winning photographers, explorers on there to bring our guests on this exploration.
Oh my God! So you can get that good vibe, and then you can also take a good picture, by all the available photographers.
And I think this is important because luxury is not about bling bling, it's not about 5-star, but it's that whole experience. So this is going to be a rough it out, but then of course when you travel with Como, you can eat well, and you can sleep well. Right. So that's what we want to create. But so it all centers around food, right? So
is there going to be a regular activity like annually you're going to do it, or?
Actually this year was our first and we were like a little bit takut, because we have to charter the ship. And it is a weather ship. So already the ship itself is like, it costs a lot to charter the ship. So we don't know whether who's going to go on it, And what are we going to do? So, but it is really all in the name of, again, I'm so grateful and proud to be working for a company like Como because our owners, they give us that space, to develop all these things. So we said, let's go for it. And then I tell you, within 3 months, all sold out.
Really?
Yeah, and then now it encouraged me. So next year we're doing 2.
There you go.
Yeah. You should open another trip.
Yeah, that's why I
and
asked.
we already have wait list.
Of course.
So I'm again very grateful for the support and for all the adventurers out there because they know that look, you cannot compare it to to any of these luxury cruises. No, but that's why the people who will book the cruise will be the ones who will never ask for the pictures of the cabin or whatever, or the itinerary, because they know you buy into the adventure with a group of very special people.
Wow.
Yeah. How long does the trip take? Like, can you...
11 days.
11 days. Start from where to where?
You have to fly into Oslo, and then from Oslo, take a short domestic flight into Svalbard. And from Svalbard, you get on the boat, and then you start sailing. No, sorry. From Svalbard, my bad. Because it's Como, we want you to stay a night so that you
very beautiful.
And then you get to know people.
Yourself.
So we put you in the best hotel there. It's called Funken Lodge. And then we also had a wine pairing dinner for you so that everybody gets to know one. I say it's all about food, right? So and apparently from the best restaurant there in that little town. And then the next day you go onto the ship. And then no itinerary because it depends on the stars, on the tide, on the weather, and then also the instinct to find the animals.
Oh my God,
such an experience.
I'm so speechless.
Actually, I've got another very exciting adventure for next year. Is even more so.
Well,
longer time and duration and longer trips, maybe?
No, actually, you see, because this year we do 2 trips to Svalbard. Because many people ask me about it. So we're going to do it again. But I said, let's do it with a twist. So we're doing it with a twist. And this twist is a real adventure and not for the faint-hearted. Wow. Because imagine the people who first explored the North Pole. So we're going to do that. So the people, again, when you come on this next trip, you will stay one night, but actually to practice a snowmobile. And then each one of you will have your snowmobile and you're going to make the trek of 7 hours to the base station called the Isford radio station where the first explorer of the North Pole landed.
Oh my God, maybe we can
and you stay there for 3 nights.
Yeah, we can see some polar bears there too, I think.
No, you don't want to be so close. Excuse me.
We don't want to be
stay there.
You know what? I think you're a good storyteller because now we are all feel like, can we just go into that boat, to that ship, and just go sailing?
Yeah, because that whole story, like I'm watching a series or movie or something.
No. So because I know my team was a little bit takut. They said, oh, but we already commodified it. We've got this group. I said, no, but we're going to do something different, no? But this one, frankly, we cannot commoditize it. But however, I think that's the Como experience.
Yeah.
Because we bring you, who else would you be able to plan something like that where you get to explore? You're not a scientist, but you get that chance, right? So you stay 3 nights to explore the area and then you go back on your snowmobile, and then you get back to the ship and then you sail for 4 days. So it's called the Land and Sea.
Land and Sea.
2026.
2026.
Ini bakal seru banget karena ternyata yang dihadirkan sama Como itu gak cuma tentang hotel aja, tapi juga nggak cuma resortnya aja, tapi juga ini kayak whole semuanya tuh dikumpulin jadi satu gitu ya. Ada experience yang menarik ya. Iya, jadi kayak misalnya menyediakan satu trip gitu ya dengan kapal, kemudian di dalamnya ada masakan-masakan yang memang disediakan oleh Komo, kemudian berhenti di satu titik, kemudian nginep di Komo di daerah tersebut, kemudian jalan lagi. Dan ini kayaknya bakal menjadi apa ya, hal yang menarik banget meskipun sangat terbatas. Jadi mungkin kalau misalnya ada detikers yang tertarik silahkan dicek sendiri aja dan mulai waiting list dari sekarang, karena tadi dengar-dengar tuh yang sekarang udah habis, yang berikutnya juga udah waiting list. Jadi ya mungkin kita berdapat tahun depan atau 2 tahun lagi, I don't know. Tapi you should start now if you really want it.
Dan sepertinya Komo mendefine the new luxury ya, karena yang mungkin lo bayangin luxurious itu tuh kayak lo pakai all the bling-bling stuff gitu, tapi bukan, ini tuh tentang kayak kehidupan yang aduh udah deh nggak bisa dibayangin lagi ya, kehidupan yang didesain seperti tadi dalam beberapa waktu, mungkin belasan hari bersama-sama ya. And don't forget to check the book as well ya. Tadi kan mungkin udah dikasih tahu juga sama Mrs. Doris gitu ya, bahwa ini bukunya eksklusif banget detikers dan terdapat 114 menu di dalamnya. So, how can we get this book?
Jeng.
Aku garansi itu yang nggak bisa cooking, very basic aja pasti
Tuh,
bisa bikin.
digaransiin detikers yang mungkin gak suka masak aja bisa recook ini ya.
So it's so simple and doable for
as
us.
the title, Komo
That's why it's
simple.
Komo simple.
But I've got something else that my chef Giovanni wants me to say because I got him all the way here to Jakarta. He said, Doris, you must always remember Como Castelo Dinero. When the guests come, they don't just do the cooking class, but you go truffle hunting with us because we have an estate that has truffles all year round.
Oh my
so
God.
it's a
Truffle
huge estate.
hunting?
Yes, so you go truffle
Picking
hunting
the
with us in the morning, you pick the truffles, you can bring it home, and then you
cook,
enjoy your truffle lunch.
Oh
and
my
you
God.
make your own pasta, handmade pasta, and that recipe is inside. So you handmade pasta with Chef Giovanni, our Michelin star chef, and then use the truffle that you've hunted, you know, and then eat it, enjoy it, and then bring it home.
Oh my
Very
God.
special experience.
Metik
That's what I
sendiri
mean, right?
truffle-nya,
Not
guys.
just a book.
You're such a good storyteller. Now I'm starving. Thank you for that one.
You must come tonight. Must bring it, please.
Let's do this. I'm gonna be a really good assistant for you. Tiba-tiba langsung bilang kayak baik-baikin.
Langsung mau
Mami
ya
Odi.
jadi asisten Mami Odi ya.
In
Biar diajak.
fact, I'm even thinking, you know, for your wonderful viewers and audience, maybe we can see who would win this book.
It's a
I'm
giveaway
going to donate this for you.
Wah, siapakah satu orang yang beruntung itu, yang who's that lucky one, detikers untuk mendapatkan buku yang mahal ini ya, aku akan blatantly say ya, karena ini bukunya sama sekali nggak murah detikers dan ini tadi seperti dibilang juga sama Mrs. Doris bahwa lebih mahalan produksinya daripada harga jualnya. Jadi sebetulnya memang ini kecintaan dari ownernya aja gitu ya, untuk makanan gitu, dan makanan-makanan yang dikumpulkan dari seluruh dunia dikemas dengan cara yang mewah sekali, tapi bisa banget di-recook sama kamu di rumah.
Dan di tahap ini kayaknya juga detikers akan bersaing dengan kita berdua ya.
Iya.
Karena kita berdua juga akan nge-war buku ini ya.
Now you make them work for it.
Yes. You did that one.
Tuh, detikers silakan ya. Jadi buat kamu yang mau berebut nanti ya, ini bisa jadi milik kamu juga.
So, I don't know ya.
How to get this
Maybe we can get this like
It's in all the Como resorts in Bali. Okay, and around the world.
And around the world.
Yes, that's
okay.
right. Yeah.
I check this one
That's
in
really
Canggu.
exclusive one, yeah.
Yes. So Canggu, it's Como Uma Canggu, Como Uma Ubud, Como Shambhala Estate, or in Bali. You can buy this book.
Ya, ini juga ditulis langsung sama ownernya ya, ada Christina Ong. Udah gitu yang menarik adalah karena sepertinya kalau ada diceritakan tadi ya sama Mr. Doris bahwa Miss Christina Ong ini sangat passionate banget sama apa yang dilakukan. Jadi kalau dilihat dari bukunya ini ya, dari gambar-gambarnya, dari menu-menunya semua dipikirkan dengan sangat baik ya Mami Odi ya. Jadi itu juga kita ngeliatin satu-satu tuh kayak, oh my God, ini sih dibikinnya benar-benar serius. Jadi no wonder kalau misalnya ya harga buat bikinnya jauh lebih mahal dibanding harga jualnya. Karena memang yang kayaknya yang diinginkan cuman sepassionate itu aja sama apa yang dilakukan dan pengen menghadirkan yang terbaik untuk detikers semuanya.
It's really pleasing the eyes gitu detikers ya, karena ngambil gambarnya juga nggak main-main. Ini ya bukan cuma pengambilan makanannya doang, tapi mungkin kita dikasih hint dari kemewahan dan kenyamanan yang ada di Como Uma yang ada di seluruh dunia. So Mrs. Doris, thank you so much for coming to our show this morning.
Thank you for being a good storyteller for us.
For having
thank
you
you for
here.
being such warm host. Thank you,
No,
really.
you're the one who's really warm to us. Thank you very much. Dan Mami Odi terima kasih udah menghadirkan Miss Doris ke sini ya. Thank you ya.
Udah bawa
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Doris ke
Thank you
sini
very much, and
ya.
thank you. Thank you, yeah, thank you so
All the way
much,
from
yeah.
Singapore?
Yeah.
Oh kan ya.
No, but my chef all the way from Tuscany.
Yeah, it's even
So far away.
far.
Yes, thank you.
dia.
Thank you Indonesia, and I want to wish everyone good health,
Amen.
much joy,
Amin.
and delight.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Alright, kalau gitu kita masih mau istirahat sejenak sampai kita mau ngelirik-lirik isi bukunya nih ya,
Yes.
Detikers. Jadi makanya jangan kemana-mana dong, tetap bersama kami masih di Detik Pagi. Jangan tidur lagi.